What if I told you I started a brand new Shopify store completely from scratch? And in just 24 days, I went from zero to over $100,000 in sales. But here's where things get crazy. I didn't start with 10,000, not even 5,000. I started with just $100. And this is because I use the most up-to-date new dropshipping strategy I call AI Hybrid Dropshipping, where you validate for free, prove demand, and then turn on ads. And today I'm breaking down that exact six-figure strategy step by step. From finding winning products in less than an hour, the tools I use to let me launch with only $100, and revealing my foolproof ad strategy that even a complete beginner can do with no experience. Also, you can repeat the system and build your own $100,000 e-commerce store. You ready? Let's go ahead and get into it. Now look, everyone wants to get into the ad strategies without talking about what really makes that $100,000 possible. But let me tell you one thing. You can have the best ad strategies and an insane budget to spend. But if you don't have a product that people feel like they want or need to buy, you're going to quickly find yourself spending money on ads without a dime in return. And look, you can skip past this if you feel like you're already a professional in product research. But the truth is, most of you aren't. So for each of you looking to scale up a business with a product that can actually help you reach that $100,000 mark, I'm gonna guide you through the exact process I use to find a winning product, even with a market that is surrounded by losers. And for starters, you just first have to know what you're even looking for. Listen, before I ever even choose to test a product, there are two things that I never skip. The same two things that decide whether the product turns into a six-figure winner with minimal investment or just makes you burn through money. First, it's gotta have a problem-solving factor. Because when it comes down to it, you can't sell a product that doesn't solve a problem long-term. And second, the engagement has to be high. This is what's gonna tell you that customers actually want this product. And I kid you not, these type of products are all over your For You page. You just have to be actively looking for them. But what separates a good product from a great one isn't just that it solves a problem or grabs attention. It's that it triggers emotion. It makes people feel something. And that's what drives them to buy. It's a repeatable thought process I've used across every single winning product. Like this back stretcher, which did over $500,000 in sales in under 4 months. Because people weren't just buying plastic, they were buying relief. Relief from pain that they've been living with every single day. Or this portable baby bed, which did $1.9 million in 6 months because I marketed it in a way that made mothers feel seen. Like they could finally take a breath, even while still caring for their baby on the go. And of course, the product that just pulled in over $100,000 from just only $100 of my own money, the Year in the Bible Journal. It wasn't the paper or the pages that sold. It was the feeling of peace, purpose, and connection that people get every time they opened it. This is why I always say that emotions are the key to selling. They always have been as well, and they always will continue to be. So if you stay for that important thought process, well, then I need you to do one thing. I want you to comment down below letting me know that you got that secret and that you're gonna put it into action when it comes to finding your next winner. Now, I just told you that there's a pool of products out there waiting to be sold. Most of them being products that are going to burn your money, honestly. But the process that I'm using now, it's one that gets all those wasted products out of my line of sight and shows me the actual products that are worth testing today. And it's by using social media. Social media has reached $1 trillion market for e-commerce, which means that consumers are actively looking on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram for products to buy. This means that if you're not utilizing those same platforms to find products to sell, well, you can do the math. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, literally, all I did to find this winning product is something that you can be able to do too. And I'm talking about as soon as today, where all I did was just create a dummy account on TikTok and I just started scrolling. Because look, we all know that by now, TikTok's algorithm is one of the smartest in the world. So I just use that to my advantage by basically creating a blank canvas for the algorithm to keep pushing me products that were similar to the ones that I was engaging with. And if you haven't guessed it yet, the only products that I was engaging with were the ones that solved a problem and were getting high engagement. And of course had an emotional appeal, which ultimately just trained the algorithm to only feed me these type of winning products. And from that point forward, the account was loaded with products that checked every single box. Now, for those of you who don't want to go with what you may consider the hard route for finding these products, listen, I get it. Time is money. And sometimes scrolling on TikTok for hours isn't what you consider time well spent. And this right here is the AI and AI hybrid dropshipping, where you use technology to do the heavy lifting. So instead of guessing or scrolling for hours, we just let AI scan the market and surface the products that are already converting right now. And there's a tool called AutoDS that will do all this hard work for you that I'm gonna go ahead and leave linked in the description below this video for you to go ahead and try out for $1. Where inside this platform, they have a trending product section that literally scans the TikTok market and puts these products that are blowing up right in front of you with just one click. Where daily, it's constantly updating with all the newest hits on the TikTok side. So every time that you head into it, it's going to show you new potential products that customers are going crazy over. And on top of that, they're going to give you some really important data like engagement and saturation scores. So you can immediately see if that product is something that you should be interested in selling or not. So instead of spending hours scrolling, you're able to utilize AutoDS to reverse engineer what's already working and put it right in front of you. So at this point, with everything I just gave you, there is zero excuse for you not to find your next winning product. And now that we've got the product, the next step in the AI hybrid system is building a store. And this is where most people overcomplicate things. Because here's the truth. You don't just hit 100K just by running ads or having a product that's in demand. Every piece of your business matters, and your store can easily make or break you. If customers land on your store and it looks sketchy, you're done. But if you create a store that feels trustworthy and gets people excited to buy, well, then the sales are gonna continue to keep rolling in. Now, when I was creating this store, I didn't hire a designer. And I didn't spend weeks trying to make the site perfect. I used something called the AI Store Builder. And I'm gonna give you the same one for 100% free in the description right below this video, where this store builder did all the work. And it built me a store that customers wanted to buy from in less than 2 minutes. So the first thing you need to do is sign up for Shopify. And if you don't already have a Shopify account, I got a special offer from Shopify themselves that's gonna give you your next 3 months for only $1 each that you can find right below this video. And then once you have your Shopify account set up, you're then gonna click on the free AI Store Builder, which is going to take you right here. Then from here, all you have to do is just answer a few quick questions like your niche, your product type, and your store name. And then within 2 minutes, with all that information you just gave it, the AI Store Builder is going to completely customize a Shopify store for you that is pretty much ready for you to start selling on. So when I created my store with it, I could tell that it was already about 90% complete. I just spent the other 10% making the right optimizations by my apps and formatting, which I knew would help convert customers. That's what quickly turned this into a $100,000 store without spending days on design. Now, what really makes this AI hybrid system so powerful is just how fast it lets you start competing in the market. Speed is everything in this game. The faster that you move, the quicker you collect data, and the sooner that you start making money. So the next step should be clear, which is gathering your ads. Because up to this point, I've already found a product and I built my store, all for under $2 and just a couple hours of work. And that same low cost mindset doesn't stop here. Because listen, I say this all the time, that content is king. So if I'm not spending money on ad production, I'm going to be spending my time being smart. That means using content that's already proven to work in the market. Content that's already getting clicks, getting engagement, and getting conversions right now. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's just about finding what works, putting your own spin on it, and just letting the system do the heavy lifting. So with just a few scrolls on TikTok searching for my product, I ended up finding tons of viral ads that I could use to help launch my own store. But more importantly, it opened my eyes to all the different angles and formats that I could test myself, literally just by using my phone. And now when I get into the ad strategy here in a little bit, you'll see how having the amount of content that I did when I launched helped me profit from day one. And speaking of the ad strategy, we're about to dive into it. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I was able to take this product to over $100,000 in under 30 days. But I wanna put you guys onto something big first, which is a platform that I found out about that is literally going to change the way that I supplement my Facebook ads forever. And I just don't see enough people talking about it, which means not enough people know about it. So if you made it to this point in this video, then congratulations, because just by knowing this platform I'm about to put you on, it's gonna put you a whole entire step ahead of the competition. Before launching the store, I knew I couldn't just depend on one traffic source. Facebook ads are always gonna be my foundation. I mean, that's where the volume and scalability come from. But I've started pairing them with another platform that I use called Realize to help me stretch that performance even further. The beauty of it is that it already complements everything I'm already doing. While Facebook's algorithm is great at finding buyers through social behavior, Realize uses AI-powered predictive audiences to then reach people who are already browsing and ready to purchase. Buyers who prefer shopping on established websites instead of just scrolling past ads. That subtle difference alone started driving measurable results. I'm talking a 31% higher conversion rate, 22% higher click-through rate, and about 1.2 times more conversions per dollar compared to my standard audiences. And honestly, what I like most is that it's fully transparent. There's no hidden ad tech fees, no mystery optimizations behind the scenes, just clear data, full control over my spend, targeting, and placements, and real performance that I can track from the dashboard. For me, it's become a smart addition. Facebook builds the base. Realize helps accelerate the path to conversion, and it brings an incremental growth that compounds the results over time. That's how you build consistency and scale with confidence. So if you want to try Realize to help take you a step ahead of your competition, make sure you go and check their platform out with the link right below this video. Now, while I was using both Realize and Meta ads to drive traffic, I had to stay on top of one thing, which is knowing exactly what I was spending versus what I was bringing in. I've always been big with reinvesting profits. I mean, that's how I managed to start the store with just $100 and use the profits to scale it up. But to do that, you've got to really understand your numbers. When you're making money, breaking even, or losing money. That's what guided every move that I made when it came to increasing budgets, bringing them down, and when to know when to pivot. And to keep track of it all, I use a Shopify app called True Profit, which gave me a clear picture of exactly where the money was going and what was coming back every single night. All right, so here's a breakdown of the last 90 days running this store on Shopify. And as you can see, we're sitting at around 173,000 in total sales, creeping up right around 174,000. Now, let's go ahead and pull that same total inside True Profit so we can actually see how much of this is profit, not just revenue. So if we go from July 9th up to today, here's basically what it looks like. As you can see, it has almost 5,000 total orders with a net profit of almost $57,000. Our total ad spend came in around $107,000, and then you can see all the total costs came out to around $117,000. And if you keep scrolling down, you're gonna get a deeper visual of the full breakdown, where you can see about 91% of what we put in went towards ads and financials, $6K in transaction fees, and around $3,000 in cost of goods. Now right here is where you can see the breakdown by ad channels, your ROAS, and even your orders versus ad spend per order. I mean, you really do get the full analysis. Every dollar coming in, every dollar going out, all mapped out in one place. And having visibility on these numbers is huge because it's gonna tell you exactly where your money's working and honestly where it's not. Even if we come back in here and look at today's number, I mean, you can see exactly how detailed this gets. $507 in revenue, $395 in total costs, leaving $101 in net profit once everything, including ad spend, is accounted for. Now, if we go ahead and cross-check that with Shopify, as you can see, the numbers match up. But the difference is, Shopify is just showing you the top line sales, where True Profit is going to show you the real picture, everything that actually affects what you keep and what you need to change. Now check this out. Our average order value started at between $20, and then you can see it jumped all the way up to $46. Now that's because we're not just selling products anymore, we're stacking smart upsells that boost every single checkout. And don't worry, I will be showing you exactly how to build those upsells later in this video. But first, let me just show you one more thing inside True Profit that just ties all of this together. Now right here, there's a full P&L tab where you get your gross sales, discounts, returns, everything organized and laid out clearly. So you can see exactly how each month performed and where your profit margins are strongest. So if you're serious about knowing exactly how much profit that you're making after all the costs and the ad spend, then True Profit is a tool that I recommend. It's super simple, it's accurate, and it's gonna save you a ton of time. I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description so you can check it out as well. All right, so now that you know the key steps that I took to set myself up to scale this product to over $100,000, well, let me show you how I actually did that from scratch. Meaning I was launching with a brand new product, with a brand new ad account, brand new pixel, everything was completely new. And I did it this way because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was just trying to prove a point with this product. Showing proof that even if you're starting from the very beginning, if you focus on an emotion-driving product and you put your all into content, you can turn up your store faster than you ever imagined. But because I was running this product with a new ad account and pixel, I also knew that this meant I could potentially run into the problem of Facebook banning my ads manager. So instead of diving straight into running ads and setting big budgets to push the product, I just had to ease into it with what I call a spin test CBO campaign. And inside the spin test, I was just testing out two different angles of the ad and really just letting the account spin to start warming it up. So let's go ahead and dive into the ad account and I'll show you how I got this thing set up. So to set this up, all I did was come over here to my ads manager and then click create and then click sales so I can set up a CBO campaign. So to set this up, I'm just gonna scroll down and right here where it says budget, I just went ahead and set the budget at $10. Again, the main thing I was trying to do with this campaign wasn't looking for purchases with the spin test. I was really just trying to warm up the account by just letting it spin. Now after setting that budget, I'm gonna head over here to the ad set level, click on website and maximize number of conversions. And then for the data set, I just selected the pixel that was associated with my store. And then for the conversion event, I always just choose purchase. Now what I did next is I set the time for the ads to start running the following night at midnight. And then for the locations, I just kept it at United States. That's basically all I did on the ad set level. And then on the ad level, that's where I just stacked 6 different ads to spend the $10 budget with. And then from there, I just published it and I just waited till midnight to let these ads start spinning. And even though I wasn't technically looking for a purchase with this campaign, this is exactly why I always set the goal of the ads as purchase, because you never want to limit if a customer can purchase from you, even while you're just testing. And I say that because as you can see by the next morning at around 9 a.m., I officially had my first sale on this product. As you can see right here, I only spent $8 to make that sale. But again, because I'm on a brand new ads manager at this point, it still didn't populate into the ads manager yet. But if we take a further look into the numbers, you can see that I had 2 link clicks, and out of those 2 link clicks, I got a sale which put me at a 50% conversion rate, which is absolutely crazy. And when I saw that, I knew that this was gonna be a great sign. That was all the proof that I needed to go all in on this product, because with those results day one, I already knew that if I didn't do that, someone else definitely would. Customers were already showing their interest in the product from just the first couple hours that I ran it. So the plan moving on from here was simple. That same night, I just duplicated the setup and launched 2 brand new CBOs, where each one of these campaigns had completely different angles. One was straight UGC, people talking to the camera, sharing their experience with the product. And the other was more visual and showcasing the product itself. No faces, just hands flipping through the book, showing the product and its value in action. So what I did is I loaded 2 campaigns up with 16 ads across the 2 campaigns and gave each one of them a $10 budget. nothing crazy. Testing this just to see which type of angle was really going to hit. So I set those ads to start running at midnight that morning as well. And the next morning, I ended up waking up to another sale for about $42. And then after cutting some of the fat on my ads and making sure that things were overspending, I just let them run for the rest of that day. And when I checked in later that night, I had almost $400 in sales. So by this point, I had about $241 in ad spend, and I spent about $90 in cost of goods, which means that I profited that day with $69. Now I typically reinvest about 30% of my profits day in and day out. But on smaller profit days like this, I just ended up putting that full $69 right back into my ads the next day. So at this point, I was at day 2 of running ads on this brand new ad account, and I really only had just one focus here: cut the ads that weren't working for me and reinvest my profits into the ads that were really finding areas to scale. And for those of you who are wondering how I was able to understand where I needed to cut ads or even where I needed to scale, I knew this because of this KPI chart right here. Now this chart is something that I use for every single product that I'm testing, where I just plug in my selling price, the cost of goods of the product, and what profit target that I'm trying to reach. And just by providing it that information, it calculates exactly what my break-even return on ad spend is, which for this product came out to right around 1.32, which in simpler terms means that anything above that 1.32 ROAS means that I was breaking even or making profit. And throughout that whole first week of running ads, I mean, you could see that I had multiple ad sets that were sitting above that 1.32 ROAS. So because of that, I was really just focused on keeping the ads profitable, adjusting the budget, and then just cutting the ads that weren't working for me. But listen, what really pushed things into profitability is when I started setting up more CBO campaigns with different ads to test within them, where the purpose behind setting up multiple CBO campaigns was just to help me keep testing content and just finding even more winners to throw into a champion CBO. And honestly, it wasn't even until day 4 of running these ads where things really started to click. One of the ad angles I was testing, the one with no face, just the hands flipping through the book, it actually started performing crazy well. That single angle spent $186 and it brought back $449 in sales. Now, the other angle, the UGC style clips of girls ripping through the book, it actually just wasn't even hitting the same, I'll be real with you. Where it spent $147 and it only made $157 back, which is still slightly profitable, but nowhere near the returns of that first angle. But overall, I was happy with how day 4 turned out. I mean, across all the ads, I spent $340 and I made $649 back. And factoring in about $120 in cost of goods, that left me with $189 in profit, which means that I made more profit in one day than the entire first 3 days combined. And listen, that right there told me one thing: it was time to push and it was time to scale. Because when something's working, you don't play scared. You always double down. So I just went ahead and increased the daily budget on my best performing campaign by $250. Then I just duplicated that winning setup into one of those new CBO campaigns I was just telling you about, using the same structure I just showed you earlier, just with new variations of that top performing angle, which put me at 21 total ads running by the end of the night, set to go live at midnight. And now as soon as I woke up that next day, I knew it was going to be a major day, because that campaign that I boosted to $250, it completely took off. By the end of that day, I spent $470 total between the original campaign and the new CBO. And together, those two campaigns brought in around $1,300 in revenue. And after calculating the cost of goods, I ended that day with $621 in profit, a 3.5 times increase from just the day before. That's how fast profit can grow with e-commerce. The day before, I was only touching $189 in profit, but this day, I'd already reached over $600. And as the night went on, the numbers just kept climbing. And that's when I realized it was only day 5. And since starting to run ads on this brand new ad account, I had already cleared nearly $900 in total profit. So again, it was time to practice what I preach and continue to reinvest profits to grow. So what I did was I launched my champion campaign, vertically scaling my top creatives at $1,200 inside a single CBO. And now keep in mind, I only had profited about $900 up to this point. So yeah, I put all the profits back in, and I even came out of pocket an extra $300. I did this because I knew that this product had potential, and I knew I would make that money back to take me back to that total investment of just $100. And what can I say? It definitely paid off pretty quickly at that. Literally by 10 a.m. the next day, I was already sitting at $1,000 in revenue. This right here is the power of a great product, a strong strategy, and knowing how to leverage Facebook algorithm to put your ads directly in front of the people who are actually ready to buy. And by the end of day 7, I was already having $500 profit days, and that's when everything started to scale fast. The part that I love most about this business is just how repeatable it is. You see, once you find that product that hits, the product and ads are going to do the heavy lifting for you, where all you have to do is just stay disciplined. Keep reinvesting at least 30% of your profits back into your business and just watch how it grows. And that's exactly what I did across 24 days of running this product. And that's what launched me into making over $100,000 in sales by the end of this month, walking away with over $22,000 in profit. And that's why I keep saying the strategy didn't change. Even after those 7 days, you can notice that nothing was really changing on my ad account. I was just rolling out new campaigns, testing new CBOs and angles that were feeding me data, and one champion campaign that kept compounding results day after day. Because when you have the right product, the right structure, and the right mindset, you don't need luck or some magic pill. You just need consistency and control. And listen, if you want to be able to see the behind the scenes of exactly what else I did throughout those 24 days, what issues I ran into, how I overcame them, and you want to follow me step by step, day by day throughout this entire 24 days of making this 100K, then make sure you check out this playlist on your screen right now where I break it all down. And I'll see you there. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.